Hello everyone, my name is Menachem White. I'm an attorney in New York and I practice family and criminal law. People often have questions about how to file for divorce and what procedures are needed to be done. Now that the courts are opening, the procedure is one, speak to an attorney if you're able to, because you need to know the rights you might have regarding custody, child support, maintenance, aka alimony, if you have a right to the person's property, if the property was marital or premarital, whether they have a right to their 401k, and other things. The goal of this video is to tell people the rights they may or may not have. It is not a final decision, obviously, because every case is different, and people should know. People should know, especially the fact that they cannot be kicked out of their house in a divorce. If only a judge can do that, and the landlord-tenant courts do not get involved in marital spouses. So, if a couple wants to get divorced and the wife wants the husband out, or the husband wants the wife to leave, the only way that they can get out is the police get involved and an order of protection is given by the family court or criminal court or the Supreme Court. That is the only way out. You cannot evict somebody. If you do, the police can arrest you for that. And that is the basic idea of it. So the way to file for divorce is simple. You have to file what's called a summons and complaint. The complaint being a verified complaint of what you're asking for, such as using the case of there's custody of children and child support in a house. So you would want equitable distribution of the house. You would want what kind of custody or visitation the person might want, and child support and maintenance and so on. And all that goes into the verified complaint. You file that. You send to the Supreme Court of the county you live in. In New York, there are 62 counties. So if you live in New York City, in Brooklyn, you file in Kings County Supreme Court. Now you file it online because of COVID, and they're not taking online filings. I mean, in-person filings. And therefore, you go that way. Once that's filed, you have to serve the person. Once you would have to hire somebody who's over 18. Usually you pay the money to a process server. Or if you hire an attorney, you have the attorney hire a process server and they serve your spouse personally. Once that happens, you then file what's called a request for judicial intervention, which then puts the case online, in front of the judge, and a judge is assigned to you. The index number itself costs $210 for the court, and the RJI, request for judicial intervention, costs $95. Once that's done, a judge is assigned, and then you get contacted in a few weeks of when the court date is. Obviously, if there's an emergency, you would file what's called an emergency order to show cause in the family court or Supreme Court, depending on what the issues are. And once a judge is appointed, you get a letter, and then you go to court at that point. What that means for during COVID-19, we don't know yet. But I hope this video helps people, and if you have any questions, leave a comment.